blue flag. I ain't happy about that.
I'm sorry, Kev.
Yeah, what
it's
is
not
this?
as glorious as the Stars and Stripes, so I don't really care that much. But I am sorry.
My country is older than yours, man. Oh, snap.
But it's not better.
We own the part of your country.
What?
Yes.
Past tense?
Yes.
Past tense, Kev.
Yeah, I know.
Past tense.
Once upon a time. I taught Ben a lot about the history of his own country, which he did not know. Certainly when we were in New York, I gave Ben a lot of facts all weekend long. He got really sick of it. That was really fun. Anyway, guys, welcome back to Liquid Red.
Don't need to learn about the history. All I care about is the future.
Well, the future ain't looking too bright. I think you guys are going to need some European help soon.
Yeah, that Euro's doing really well right now.
All right, all right. Liquid Red is, of course,
Hello,
our
Greece.
Zerg player
What, you want some
spawning in
more
the
money?
left.
You're going to have to ask Germany. Oh, they said no? Ooh, that sucks.
Yes, man, you are funny. Liquid Red is our Zerg in the left top side of this map, and EG's DeMusliM is our blue Terran spawning in the right bottom side of this map. Great game 1 on Daybreak. I think Red played like Red always does. He played solid, he played good, very strong macro-wise, but DeMusliM played fantastic TVZ. TVZ style that I haven't seen him play yet, and the TVZ style that I didn't know he was capable of pulling off. Yeah. And that's really what makes me feel, what surprised me the most.
And the coolest thing is that it was just perfect for Red. Like, you can see that this was prepared for his games against Red. And, you know, Red, he cuts corners, man. He says, all right, I'm just going to make queens and drones. You can try to attack me all you want. I'll defend it, and then I'll win in the late game. DeMusliM says, to hell with attacking you. I'm just going to make 4 bases, and then what are you going to do about it? You have slow Zerglings and queens.
Yeah, the DeMusliM's playstyle reminded me a little bit of how Moro played against Idra on our Sunday Showdown. If you guys haven't seen those games yet, you should definitely check them out as well, because I know a lot of you people out there know that the Moro won those series 4-0, but it really was not a good indication of how the series really went, because Game 2 and Game 3 were fantastic TVZs, and definitely worth checking out, where Moro just kind of hang in there, eventually won, but also played a very strong macro-oriented style.
Absolutely, and the game on Daybreak was probably my favorite one. Splitting the map, controlling his Vikings exceptionally well.
And Shattered was great too. Shattered was really, really great. But then for now it's time for these two handsome devils to fight it out. You already said Belshire Beach is a pretty good map for Zerg. How did it play out so far in the NASL Season 2, Season 3? I know you've kept track of a lot of statistics.
It hasn't been played often in this season. Terrans often veto it or try to avoid it, and so we haven't had many NASL games on Belshire, but there are things about the map that make it pretty solid. Like, it's much easier for Zerg to take a third base than it is for Terran. We can see why. Third base is a little bit tucked away. You have to have units kind of back in there doing their own thing. Whereas, you know, Zerg, with all that mobility, they can just go wherever the hell they want, basically. Now, the other thing is there's 2 attack paths, and for Terran to attack down either of them, they have to really commit their whole army. If they split up their army, Zerg's going to swarm it and kill it. But if they commit their whole army, Zerg can just go down the other one and counter. So it's a little bit of a paradox for Terran players in that regard.
We'll see if the DeMusliM is going to do something funky with the Hellion, since I would also say this is a pretty decent map to go for some Hellion run-by. It's not going to be much easier than that. The factory is on the way, reactor as well, but of course the real question is how many Hellions is the DeMusliM really going to produce. He went for 6 in the previous game, but the only purpose of those Hellions was to slow down the creep spread a little bit. It became a lot harder since the Queen got improved, but mostly to keep the Zerglings away from scouting the extremely quick third base at the DeMusliM map. But the DeMusliM didn't stop at quick 3 bases, he went for quick 4 bases, and then he also went for a quick 5th base. It's just, I'm becoming a little fanboy again, man.
Yeah, man, he's playing some good StarCraft. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our final best of 5 of the day, our final round of 16 playoff game. After this, we will know exactly what our top 8 bracket's going to look like, and we'll see exactly who's going to be joining us in Toronto. If you've been with us the whole time, thank you for sticking around. It's been a long broadcast. I think we're in hour 7 now. But we're not done yet. We still have to crown a victor in this matchup, Red versus DeMusliM.
Roach Warren and Bailing Nest going down on the same moment, and if DeMusliM would decide to sacrifice these 2 Hellions and get a scout off, it would be a pretty big deal. Red is producing 3 Overlords at once, and it seems like Red is going to prepare for a lot of early game aggression. Yeah,
it looks like it, Kev. 36 drones right now. He's got
Banshee's already on the way as well. I feel that DeMusliM has everything pretty quick. he might just be fine. It's all going to come down to when the Muslim will be able to put the pieces together. If you guys wonder about the matches we have so far for our finals in Toronto, it's going to be MC against Puma, Hero versus Stefano, Hawk versus Alicia, and Puzzle versus the winner of Red and the Muslim. That's
right, Kevin. A lot of this defense is going to depend on the positioning of this Banshee. If she's out on the map, and when the roaches hit, it's going to be really tough. But I don't think that's going to happen. These Hellions should spot the roaches as soon as they move out.
I kind of like the Muslim's position. Oh, he's already dropping a third command center, so he's investing into a little bit. That's not going to help him. Now the Muslim will see all these roaches streaming down. And the Muslim, what are you going to do? Additional bunkers? He has the Banshee over here. So at least he will be able to use those Banshees for defensive purposes. And I think the Muslim is going to be fine,
Banshee's coming right out. She's looking for the army of red so she can do as much damage as possible. She's going to be able to pick
up so many Banelings as well. Here are the Hellions.
Oh, and the Hellions are going to immediately target these Banelings. Red's going to get here just in time to chase them away, though. This is still a very scary attack. Red's going to go right up this ramp.
There are no SCVs over here for the Muslim. Why wouldn't you have a single SCV?
Oh, the bunker is going to fall, and Red's going to be able to get through. Here come the Banelings. Banshee has got to be perfect here. Hellions are going to fight the Banelings, and that's okay, but three of them still going to sneak through, and they're going to make their way to the SCV line, and
second
Second
Banshee is out. It's going to be able to pick off a couple of these Banelings. They won't be able to do a whole lot of damage. The biggest problem is the wall is down, and Zerglings are just streaming in. Roaches are cleaning house over here as well. The Muslim is losing a lot of units.
More and more Zerglings coming out for Red. He has not even stopped to drone. He's doing heavy damage to the economy of DeMusliM, who once again tried to go for a big macro style, but this is one of the dangers. When you go for Banshees, when you go for 3 command centers, you don't have many units on the ground, and it makes defending these kinds of all-ins very difficult.
Only 12 SCVs remaining for the Muslim, and more Zerglings are streaming in. I don't think the Muslim will ever be able to control this situation. The Red is just picking up everything, starts working on tech labs now as well. The Muslim does have 3 Banshees, and he will finally be able to get that wall up again, but the Muslim fell down to 4 SCVs. Cass would say he's winning this game, but I don't know, Ben.
I don't think even Cass is going to come back from this one, Kev.
Don't say that.
Well, the critical thing here is that Red is transitioned, and oftentimes when we see Cass make these great comebacks, it's because Zerg hasn't transitioned.
More Zerglings poking away at the front. The Muslim did finally
stabilize.
Yes,
dare we say the word stabilize? But the thing is, Red's got his layer done, Kev, and now he can make Spire. And what can DeMusliM do? He doesn't have the money to build turrets. He doesn't have the money to build Marines even.
He's going to try to make something happen with these 2 Banshees. How many queens do we have on the map? We have 3 queens, 1 more queen on the way. The Red already has a couple of spore crawlers. And yes, man, I think you're right. I don't think even Cass could come back from this.
Banshees will manage to find one of these queens down here off one of these queens off creep is what I was trying to say. And yeah, Red's looking pretty safe and solid, Kev. He's at 47 drones. He's in a really dominating position right now. Spire is on the way. DeMuslim's building more Banshees and building more SCVs, and that's all he's building.
Muslim is outmining Red, though.
Mules are pretty good.
It's kind of ironic.
12 SCVs outmine the hell out of 53 drones. Standard.
Well, the hell is a little exaggerated, but he's keeping up, even though his gas economy is slacking quite a bit. And of course, the Red is going to have a good time. He already has 700 gas banked up, Ben. Red is on 56 drones. He is only on 2 bases. That's the only thing that the Muslim has over Red. Red dropped that new hatch right now. I don't think he's able to I don't think he will be able to keep it alive. I think the Muslim will be able to force a cancel on that one.
Whenever DeMusliM sees these mutas, he might just tap out immediately, Kev, because he's not produced a single Marine. He's making Marauders and Hellions right now.
It's going to be 7, 8, 9 mutas. The Muslim did not scout the Spire right now. He never saw.
Yeah, I think what DeMusliM wants to try to do is like a Savage Marine Marauder Banshee, not Marine Marauder, but Marauder Hellion Banshee attack and see if he can maybe salvage the game that way. But of course, those things are not that good against mutas.
The Muslim, his economy is about to stabilize though, Ben. He has 26 SCVs right now, and he's on triple orbital, but as you said, he just has absolutely 0 anti-air. He has 2 Hellions, 1 medevac, 4 Banshees, and 2 Marauders. Nothing that can actually fight these mutas. Well, meanwhile, I see someone taking out the trash in the back door.
And the Muslim sees the mutas and does just that. Taps out immediately. GG. Rhett takes game number 2, ties up the series, and there you go, man. It's 1-1.
Red going for the early game aggression with the Roaches, Banelings, and Hellions. And for a second, I actually thought that the Muslim it was going to be sort of okay. He saw it pretty early. He had Banshees. It could have helped. Where do you think it went wrong? Not having the SCVs there in time?
I don't know, Kev. I mean, just the opening is just bad against what Red did. It's kind of what it boils down
Because
to.
he dropped, but
The third command center and Banshee. Like, when you do like a Roach Baneling bust and you see that you're playing against Banshee, you're not upset because Banshee means they're invested in tech, they have less units on the ground, and yes, they'll eventually clean up your all-in, but you're going to do a lot of damage in the meantime. So when you see the Banshee is there and he's got the third command center, that's like, oh, well, gee, you have even less units than you would have had if it was just straight to Banshee.
So DeMusliM had very few units, but he did scout it pretty early on, and you could say that maybe with the Banshee above the Banelings, he could pick off a lot of the
Maybe
Banelings.
if his wall wasn't supply depots, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty difficult spot to be in.
All right.
But either way, Red did a great job of kind of adjusting to how DeMusliM was showing him that he wanted to open, and that's going to force DeMusliM to rethink his strategy a little bit on the third map. Guys, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with Game 3, Rhett versus DeMusliM, after this.